Okay, yesterday we studied the last letter was M. So today we come to N and double N. And once again, N produces more sounds than double N. So we study N alone and then double N later separately. Because double N produces only one sound, while N gives more than one sounds. Three sounds actually. The first sound given by N, the most common one, is N sound. Symbol is like small n. Its equivalent letter in other languages is Nun, like in Pashto, Dari in Urdu or Arabic. And N can give us this sound either at the beginning of a word, in the middle, or maybe at the end. At the beginning, like narrow, norm, in the middle, like astonish, funeral, and at the end, like abstain, attain, shun, and etc. Second sound that is given by N is sound. At the beginning, when we categorized vocalized and non-vocalized consonants, we had mentioned that when N letter comes before K sound or before G sound, then N is pronounced not only in English, even in Pashto, Dari, Urdu, and other languages. So, sound when followed by K or G sounds. And again, we talk about sounds, not about letter. Maybe K gives this sound, maybe C gives this sound, maybe Q gives this sound, maybe CK gives K sound, maybe X gives K sound, whatever the letter is. But when after letter N we have K sound, it is pronounced And also when before G sound we have And only G can give us G sound, that is clear. The next thing is that N gives this sound before K or G in the middle and at the end, not at the beginning. Because once, if you remember at the beginning, we had talked about the phonotactic constraints of English, that in English we cannot have NG or NK at the beginning of a word. There has to be a vowel before that. So when there is a vowel before that, it will be either middle or end of the word. The next thing is that G becomes silent after N at the end of words. When we have N before this sound, any of these letters, then N is pronounced and also these letters are pronounced, whether middle or N, no matter. But before G, if we have NG in the middle, N is pronounced and G is pronounced G, like its own sound. However, if we have NG at the end, N is pronounced but G will be silent. If you remember, in letter G, we also studied one of the rules where G becomes silent. So, first examples for N before K sound to give sound, like ankle. Letter K gives sound in the middle, uncle in the middle. Here C gives K sound, and conquer again in the middle, but here Q gives K sound, so N is pronounced thinker again middle before K. Pharynx, still we can say middle, because X is pronounced here X. We have another sound after that. And at the end, with K sound, like blink, letter K gives K sound, zinc, C gives K sound, trank, Q gives K sound, and N is at the end. Now we come to letter G. In the middle, like anger, N is pronounced and G is also pronounced G. Mango. In the middle, before G, N is pronounced and G is also pronounced G. But if at the end we have NG, N is pronounced but G is silent. Like wing, wing. When we pronounce this sound, then we stop. We don't say wing. We don't produce this g. We stop at wing. That's it. Or playing. That's all. This you hear, this is sound of N, not sound of G. If G would be pronounced, it would be playing, but it is not playing like in the middle. For example, sing, G silent, singer, G pronounced. Or for example, long, G silent, longer, longest, G is pronounced. So at the end, NG, G is silent.
RC. Here is
Yeah.
neutralize noun.
With the G,
Like
yeah, good. Again, G will be in the middle, so it is pronounced. Lung, lungs. Now it is pronounced because now it is in the middle, not at the end. Okay, a few exceptions to this rule. We said that whenever N comes before K sound or G sound, N is pronounced Now, note, if the words ending in NG appear in the middle of sentence, the G will be pronounced, for it no more is supposed to be at the end due to connected speech. We have something called connected speech at the end when we come to spoken English rules. We will talk about that in details. What happens in connected speech that according to writing, you see that we write words separately. We give space between each two words. For example, I say, if the words ending in NG, between each two words, we give space. But when we talk, we don't take pauses. We do not say like this. If the words ending, we don't say like this. We say if the words ending in NG, we connect each two words with each other as if the whole sentence is one word. According to grammar, it is a sentence. But according to pronunciation, we pronounce all words together. Like the all words are one word. Like the entire sentence is one word. So we connect if with the with words, words with ending, ending with N. Like this, all words are connected. In here, some pronunciation rules are invented, which we'll talk about at the end, inshallah, after we finish all phonetic symbols. So here we have one thing regarding connected speech. Before we said, whenever we have NG at the end of a word, like in the word wing, playing, or for example, sing or long, so G is silent. But if such words are used in the middle of sentence or at the beginning, but not at the end, which means we will have another word after them, then according to word, G is at the end. But according to connected speech, it is at the middle, not at the end. Because the next word is connected with it. So the silent G is activated. Then we pronounce it. For example, before we said wing, now we say the wing of my parrot was cut. The wing of, now G is pronounced. Because now it's at the middle, according to connected speech, according to pronunciation. Or before we said, for example, lung, in lung, G is silent. Lung, G is silent. But if I use lung in the middle, his lung has some problem. His lung has some problems. Now G is pronounced because now it's in the middle. Similarly, before we said playing, G silent. But now I say he is playing in the yard, playing in the yard, playing in, ging. We will study how we connect them, inshallah, later in its own place. So, that was one exceptional case. Next, couple of exceptions for all these letters or the entire rule of N before K or G sound. We said whenever after N we have K or G sound, N will be pronounced But we have two cases where before K or G we do not pronounce We pronounce N like N. There are two cases. Number one, N is pronounced N, not at the end of a prefix followed by K or G. If at the end of a prefix we have n, like we have n or an, at the end of these two prefixes we have letter n. If these prefixes are added to words which begin in k sound or in g sound, so their combination, from their combination, n will come before k or g. But we will not pronounce this n like because they come from different morphemes. Originally, they were not from the same root, from the same word. So, for example, with k sound, incomplete. We don't say incomplete, incomplete. Because n was a separate morpheme and complete is separate. They were not, this n was not originally the part of this word. Similarly, we don't say ungracious, we say ungracious, ungracious, because we added the prefix un to the root word gracious. So originally, this n and g were not in the same morpheme. They were from different morphemes. Therefore, we here pronounce n like n, not like n. And second exception, whenever after n we have k or g sound, but between them we have stress. Remember, stress always breaks pronunciation rules, especially spoken English rules. Later we will talk in letter T and also other letters. We have some rules for spoken English. This stress always breaks these pronunciation rules. If we have stress on k or g, the syllable actually, which begins in k or g. Suppose in a word you have n, and after n you have either k sound or g sound. But they come from different syllables. Before n here you have a vowel, and here after k or g you have another vowel. And this is one syllable, this is another syllable. And there is stress. If there is no stress, no problem. Then you pronounce n like n. But if stress splits n letter from k or g, then we do not pronounce n like n, we pronounce it like n. So, when n is split from k or g by stress, then it is pronounced n, not n. For example, if we compare the verb increase with the noun increase, we will know the difference. At the beginning, we studied that in most two-syllable words, and verb stress is on second syllable, and noun stress is on first syllable. So, in the noun form, if we see, stress is on first syllable. So, there is no stress between letter n and k sound. So, according to rule, it is pronounced increase, increase. But in the verb form, stress is on second syllable. And stress splits k sound from n letter. So we don't say increase, we say increase, increase. These were the two cases where we do not pronounce n before k or g. And one more exception, we said n is pronounced before k or g, not any other sound, just before these two. But in this word, it is pronounced before z sound. N is pronounced in anxiety, though not followed by k or g. In the word anxiety, we do not have k sound and we do not have g sound after n, but it is still pronounced So we call it an exception. Anxiety. Okay. That was second sound of n. Third sound is near. That is, it means n is pronounced n and also y sound is added with it. When in some Spanish words where we have a tilde above n, this sound is called tilde. Like in Pashto Dari we have mad, it is like mad. N is pronounced near in the middle in Spanish words with a tilde, this sign, placed over n between two vowels. We have some Spanish words that are used in English. English has borrowed from Spanish language, in which N comes between two vowels and it has this tilde sign over it. In these words, N is pronounced near. N sound and also ye with it added. For example, mañana. Mañana. You see N is between two vowels and it is pronounced here. If you check in dictionaries, N will have this sign over it. Or senior, señorita, pinion, piñata. These are some of the Spanish words that are used in English in which N appears between two vowels and is pronounced near. Near. Okay, that was all about N and its sounds. Now we have a rule where N becomes silent. Rule for silent N. N becomes silent after M at the end of words. Whenever you have MN at the end of a word, it is silent. हर कले चीज़ लुगत पर हर के MN रहा है, N silently. Like column, damn, autumn, condemn, hem, solemn, contempt, and etc. An exception for silent N. The first N in the word government can be either pronounced or not in British English, but is pronounced in American English. Which means, in American English, government, everything is pronounced. Many will say government, which is not correct. American government, everything is pronounced, nothing silent. British, two possibilities. Make only R silent, because we have a rule for R in British English, we'll study when we come to R. British, either government, make R silent. Or make both R in silent, government. British government or government. American government, everything is pronounced, nothing is silent. And finally, double N. As I told you at the beginning, double N gives only one sound, and that is N. So double N is pronounced N, either in the middle or at the end of words. But not at the beginning, because we cannot have double consonant at the beginning of the words. Examples for double N in the middle like innocent, manner, funnel, banner, announce. At the end like gin, in, lin, sun, con, and etc. That was all about N and double N. If you have any question, you can ask.
Sir, double N. You take a stress on them. Innocent or innocent?
Stress on first syllable as long as I know. Innocent. Innocent, first syllable.
Sound like just one N.
Yeah, that is the rule for double consonant. Always double consonant together produce one sound. The same consonant I mean. Like double P represents one per sound. Double B pronounce one per sound. Like we see, for example, hobby, right? We don't say hobby, we say hobby. Together they produce one consonant sound. All consonants. Announce. One sound. Okay, any other question? Okay, let's discuss the meaning of these words because it will also take some time. Narrow means barik, nare. Norm means culture. Norm? I haven't heard, maybe, but as long as I know, culture. And astonished, to be very surprised. To be astounded. Funeral, janaza. Funeral. And vowel sounds in letter U, we will start a study. Like fume, like perfume, like fumigate. After letter F, we will study, inshallah. Funeral. It is sometimes mispronounced, like you said, funeral. I also heard from a teacher once, then I told him. It is funeral. Like this. Funeral. And abstain means data kawal, ijtinab kawal, to stay away from. Attain means to obtain, to acquire something, especially with difficulty and after hardship. Shun means to avoid someone or something deliberately. Qasdan, to avoid someone or something. And then we have ankle, khangara, this is ankle. And uncle, kakaya mama. Conquer, fatha kawal, like a place is being conquered. Thinker, mufakir. Pharynx is the throat inside. Blink, this is called blink. Stirge, zinc is a chemical element. Zinc. Trank is short for tranquilizer. It's a kind of drug. Tranquilizer urdu that is short form there. No delta. These drugs calm people. That's why they call it tranquilizer. That's why it is called tranquilizer. And trank is short for that, short form. And then we have anger, rage, fury. Mango is the fruit. Wing, wazar, the one with which birds fly. And playing is the energy form of play. And manana is a behavior in which people postpone everything for tomorrow. The word manana itself means tomorrow. This behavior that a manana behavior or manana type of behavior. Senior is a title of respect used in Spanish, like we see sir or Mr. in English, sahib. And señorita is for female, like Miss, we say in English, but for a single woman, Ms. And pinyon is a type of tree. Maybe I have the picture. All trees from the pine family, these trees are called pinyon. And piñata is a kind of doll or any other decorative piece made by children, inside which they put candies. And then they blindfold their eyes and they break it with a stick. And birthdays or in other celebrations, that is called piñata. They make a decorative doll which is filled with candies. Then they blindfold their eyes and then they break it. This doll or this ornament is called piñata. Then we have incomplete, means not complete, nimgade. And ungracious means impolite. Okay, we were here actually. And then we have column and MS Word in Excel we have row and column, Qatar. Damn as a verb means to curse, and as interjection when we are angry we say damn it. When people get angry they use this interjection. Autumn means the season of fall. Khazania mane. Condemn gandil muzamat kawal diyushi. Him also means, like we studied Psalm a few days ago, ham, dala sana sifat. And solemn means serious, silent and serious. When people are serious and calm, like in funeral, for example, this calmness, this seriousness is called solemn. And contempt means to consider or regard with contempt. Bihtarami kawal, spakawa kawal. To disrespect. Innocent means not guilty, masum. Manner, ravish, tars, passion, style, and also attitude, ravish tahamwi, chal chalan, behavior. Funnel, kiftawai. The exactly. This is funnel. Yeah. First syllable, yeah. Funnel. And then we have, banner. One is banner in which we have advertisements made of cloth. And in formal English, banner is also used for a flag. بيرق هم banner way formal English ke. Announce إلى أول to advertise. Jin iritawi goose jin. N means hotel. Usually used with names of hotels. The hotel numuni ki zyada istemaalegi. Like in Peshawar, we have Shiraz and with the name of hotels they use. It means hotel. Len means waterfall. Abshar the way Len. And the next word is sun with double N, I think. Yeah, sun. Sun is a kind of plant. It is called sun. This flower actually. These flowers are called sun. And then we have con. Con means to carry something heavy. Drun shay intiqal awal.